seems to end. We can't keep coming back. Oh, we drifted apart.
Alright, what is up you guys? Brandon from Get Up and Go here. You might not be able to notice, but if you've seen my brother's videos, I am in my dad's shop. I recently purchased a machine that will hopefully allow me to start my own business with it. And I'm super excited. We got a few parts to fix on it because I got it really cheap. But yeah, let's roll the intro and I'll show you what I got. So if there's one thing you should know about me, I have always wanted to start my own business. I like the entrepreneur, whatever the word is, stuff. And hopefully this will allow me to do it. So today I'm here with my brother. If you can see him right there, I don't want to turn it too far. He's here today, and this is what I bought recently. So as you can see, it's got some damage to it. There's a dent right here that I need to try and push out. This whole side vinyl sticker, that's all scraped up. We're gonna replace that. Obviously clean off the buttons, all this stuff. There's just a lot of smaller stuff we have to do. I've already done quite a bit of work cleaning it up on the inside. If you look inside of this vacuum here, there is a ton of grease and leaves and dust, and then some got on the hose there. It was super dirty on the inside. I just wanted to get that cleaned up so that people didn't get grease on their sodas or whatever. I replaced the bulbs that were there. Those were pretty cheap. Those were like $9 a piece. I should have went with the LED. I just went with the normal halogen style bulbs. But other than the cleanup, I haven't really done much. I was troubleshooting and I noticed that turning the compressor on, it didn't cool it, which I already knew that was a problem. But while I was testing that, we found out that the compressor cooler fan was not working. So I got that out and we tested it. It's completely burned up. It is stuck and seized. So I did purchase a new one. We got a new one right over here. And then the motor to vend one of the sodas is completely burned up. So I did buy another one of those too, which we are going to replace both of those in this video. So I did buy some soda already. We went to Sam's Club, got some soda. But if you have any recommendations, if you own a soda machine or anything, and you know of a popular soda that a lot of people don't use, then let me know in the comments below, because that'll definitely help me out. I have a total of 8 buttons or different sodas I could use, and so far I only have 5 different types of sodas. So far I've bought some LaCroix, because not a lot of vending machines I know of have those. Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, and just plain old Coca-Cola. And then also in the machine we have Diet Coke, which I'm probably going to get Diet Pepsi, maybe Diet Dr. Pepper, but it definitely all depends. So let's get right into fixing the first vending motor, and that should be a pretty quick and easy job. So I got a motor. It's from a different brand machine, but it looks very similar. I'm going to try and make it work with my machine, and hopefully it does. I got a really good price on this. I think I only paid like $20 for the whole assembly. But all the vending motors, they're hidden under here, and they're controlled by these switches up here. This last one here is the one that doesn't work. So let's take this cover off and I will show you why it doesn't work. So as you can see, these are the motors I was talking about. These ones all have this white, like, I don't know, plastic assembly piece that the switches use. This one has it, but this one is completely broken, and I believe the motor is also seized up. The difference between my machine and the one I bought is there are 2 switches up here, and the one I bought only has 1 switch. So I'm hoping it'll still fit with both of the switches if I can just transfer those over to mine. Alright, so let's get the motor assembly off and see what we're working with. There are 4 screws that are supposed to be holding it on. Mine only has 3. And they're just 2 at top, 2 at bottom. The new one I have only has 3 holes. 1 centered in the top and two on the bottom. So I'm probably going to keep this metal piece from this one and just switch them because it'll be way easier than drilling holes and getting the new one to work. So there are quite a few differences between both of these motor setups. Obviously, it's a lot shorter. This one has this piece already on it. This one does not. And the actual size of where the switches go is a lot longer. So I'm going to see what I can do and if I can just transfer like the basic motor from this one over to this one and get it working that way. Alright, so I got the motor switched over. This is the new motor on the old assembly. As you can see, this is a round piece. The new piece I got is like flat on either end. I'm not sure exactly what those are called. And this has two switches. The plastic piece that came with is too thin. And I could make a shim to press down both of these when it hits, like it does on the old one. However, because this is rounded and the other one is flat, it's not going to work. What I'm going to have to do is take this piece and model it and 3D print it. Luckily I do have a 3D printer and it's not like it takes a lot of force. I could probably find one on eBay, but I have a 3D printer. I'd rather use my time and actually go through and model it and print it to make it work instead of purchasing it on eBay. That way I can save money. So I guess this one will have to hold off. So for now, let's just move on to the fan motor that I gotta do next. I did buy a new fan motor like I was showing you earlier. And basically in the box is just the fan motor and some adapters. So let's get that open and I can show you what it comes with. So it looks like it came with the fan motor, obviously, and then some attachments for the fan itself, which I have right here. And that just threads on to the actual threads on the motor and just clips itself onto this fan to cool down the AC compressor. So it's basically the same process. Take out the bolts, take out the screws, switch over the motor, and then put the fan blades on. So I'll do that off camera real quick and we'll just cut to when I have that done. Alright, so I got everything transferred over to the new motor. I crimped the ends, got that all done. Now it's time to wire it up. Hopefully I remember where everything's supposed to be, because if not, I could potentially burn this motor up. Because I know DC motors, you can flip the polarity and it'll just reverse the motor. I'm pretty sure with AC motors, you gotta be specific with where it goes. I'm actually going to look it up before I do anything because I don't want to burn the motor out. I mean, it was only 40 bucks. I got a good deal on this one. The other ones were at least 50, 55 bucks that I could see. Look at this vending machine. I bought it for 75 bucks. I'm not looking to spend 100 bucks on one thing because I messed it up. So I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna double check everything and hopefully not hook it up the wrong way. So if I do, you'll see, and hopefully it'll be entertaining. It won't be entertaining for me. Okay, so this is the back view of the vending machine. There's the AC compressor right there. The fan goes right inside where that like radiator type thing is. I'm pretty sure this is just the dump for the moisture that comes out when you're using an AC. But if I set this down like that, you should get a good view. Let's see if I can zoom in on the piece we're going to be talking about. So right here there's like a relay or a switch or some type of thing, which one of the pieces of the fan connects to, and then the other piece just goes in to power both of those. So this is basically just plugged into a wall adapter, and it's literally just straight. And this is where it can get dangerous. So please do not do anything with AC if you do not know what you are doing. And I mean, I could be being a hypocrite because I just said the thing I did about the motor. I mean, that's a little bit different. Like, I know that this is super dangerous. So, I don't know if you can see this real well. Focus. So this one is like super smooth. And then if you look at this wire, it's got little ridges. You can kind of see in the reflection. And then same with this. Like I was saying before, I'm pretty sure this is the one that was connected there. And you can verify that just by making sure this doesn't have any ridges on it. Which is one of the things I just learned. I noticed that it had ridges, so I knew it meant something, and that's what I looked up real quick just before I did any of this. These are both smooth, smooth, and smooth. So these three will connect to each other. These go onto here. It goes through, I'm actually not exactly sure what this is, but it goes through that. And then it goes into like this switch thing that I was talking about. And then the other part will just thread onto here. And then same thing with this one. It'll be connected at that same point, and it just threads onto this. And then everything should work good. So right now I'm going to install the fan motor back where it's supposed to go by the radiator that'll cool the compressor. And then after that, I'm going to plug it in. Hopefully nothing explodes or burns up. And then we'll see if this actually starts cooling. I'm not sure if maybe it was getting too hot, like right away realized it wasn't cooling and then just shuts off, or if it's something else. So that's what I'm going to do real quick, and then we'll go from there. So I got the fan in. Let's see if I can show you a little bit better. Yeah, I got the fan in right behind the compressor. I chose not to show it just because the screws are really hard to get to. They're here and then behind. It just wouldn't be easy to get good shots. So I skipped that, and now we're just gonna move on to the wiring. Yeah, so basically this looks like that, and there's that hole right there. That's got threads on it, so you can thread in a screw after you get these onto there, so they fit like that. And you want it pretty tight, that way the vibration of the motor isn't going to loosen it or anything, make it fall off and then short against something else. And it just needs to slide on top of this relay piece there, just like that. And then the other two are gonna thread together like the other one was, with another screw onto this like sensor. It's some type of sensor, I believe. Okay, so I got the flathead. I switched around the camera angle so you can see this pin better. That's also got threads in it. And double check your work. Make sure you do have the ribbed connectors. That way you're not messing things up. And I do. Alright, now that that's in there and tight, make sure nothing is touching anywhere else. I'm gonna short out, and I guess let's test it. I'm gonna change the camera angle and we'll see if things start to explode. Alright, so everything should work, but who knows. Let's see. It's working. Alright, so it's working. I'm gonna shut the door, leave it running for about 10 to 15 minutes because that is how long it takes to actually start seeing if it will start cooling. Like I said, I'm not even sure if that's the issue. We could have a clogged system or whatever else, but now that we got it cooling, it's safe to run it, because prior it could overheat and totally ruin the compressor. So now that that's good, I'm gonna plug it in, run it, and I'll be right back in like 15 minutes. All right, so it's been just about 15 minutes. And let's see if it's cooling at all or if it's still just doing the same thing where it sounds like it's running, but it's not actually cooling anything. So, open it up. This is the vending machine. Obviously, soda goes in there. Motors, like I showed you before, those are usually covered. But right underneath of this ramp where the soda comes from, you can see sometimes it's on this side. This whole radiator, like right there, actually, that's perfect. You see how it's frosting up right there? That's what you want to see, and that's what I was not seeing before. But you want to look at right there, that tube thing. Let me see if I can get that fully. That tube right there. If that starts to frost up, then you know that refrigerant is getting all the way through your system. So I'll show a clip right now. You should see right where I put my finger and wiped some of the moisture off, and that means it is working. So it must have just been cycling on and off because of it overheating and not having that fan on it. So yeah, it must have been just because that fan wasn't on it, cooling it down, going through this radiator right here. But you saw the frost. Everything's working like it should. The soda should be maybe not getting cold right now because it's just that fan running. The other fan isn't running, pushing it up. So yeah, that makes sense why it's not getting cold. So I'm gonna unplug the compressor and plug in the whole machine, have it closed overnight, and then check it tomorrow, and I will update you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this stuff, let me know in the comments. I want to do more of this stuff. I want to make enough money off of this vending machine so that eventually I can buy more and so on and so forth and just keep expanding. The next issue is just finding a place to put it. I need a business I can put it in front of that won't mind. I got this idea from Investment Joy. He's another YouTuber, pretty big YouTuber. He does a lot of real estate. He owns a laundromat, does vending. He does a lot of stuff and goes through all the financials of it and just shows you how you can make money and do it in a cheap and affordable way, which is kind of what I want to do with my YouTube channel. I also want to do fun stuff. But in my personal life, that is what I want to do. I want to purchase equipment and basically just have it pay for itself and just get it cheap and in cash. So follow along if that's what you want to see, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time.